Hey all, welcome to another session by the Advent Biological Society, and this session is dedicated to the GATE Excel Zoology Crash Course Part 8, and I am your educator Rebanto Roy. So, we have already completed 7 parts under the GATE Excel Zoology Crash Course. Now we are into the 8th part, and in the 8th part, first we will be talking on the introduction to the animal kingdom. Now we know that the animal kingdom comprises of various types of phylums, classes, orders, families, and the rest aside. So basically, if we talk about the invertebrates under the animal kingdom, you will be finding that the invertebrates has few major phylums and few minor phylums. Of the major phylum, the important ones are given over here as Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Mollusca, Annelida, Arthropoda, Echinodermata, and Chordata. Now under the Porifera, sponges are a great example. Under Cnidaria, it's the jellyfish, hydra, coral. Under the Platyhelminthes, it's the flatworms. Under Nematoda, the roundworms. Under Mollusca, the squids and snails. Annelida, arthropods and leeches. Annelida is comprised of mostly the arthworms and leeches. Beg me pardon about what I said as arthropods. Instead, it's basically the earthworms and the leeches. And then comes the major phylum, which has the maximum number of total species. That means the highest number of species belong to this phylum in the total animal kingdom, that is the arthropod. Arthropod comprises of insects, spiders, crustaceans, and many more. Echinodermata's example is in the form of starfish. Chordata is a much more bigger phylum, and Chordata has several distinct classes. One of the classes is Mammalia, in which we all humans also belong, and the example are the vertebrates. So basically the invertebrate phylum are in the form of Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Mollusca, Annelida, Arthropoda, and Echinoderms, and also Hemichordata. We will be looking in the details in the next videos, but the major invertebrate phylum are these all, and along with that the vertebrate phylum is the Chordata. So invertebrates versus chordates. Now invertebrates includes 95% of the animals, includes 33 phyla, of which we have talked about the major phylum only. There are many minor phylums like the Bryozoa and the rest of the others which are there, and it has no vertebral column or backbone. Chordates include 5% of the animals, include phylum Chordata, and 4 characteristics at some point are very much important in the life cycle of the chordates, in the form of the nerve cord or the vertebral column, the notochord, the tail that extends beyond the anus, and the pharyngeal pouches. Now you might be wondering that humans do not have a tail. Yes, they do not have a tail, but we do not have a tail. But yes, we have one of the tail bones that are present in the form of the last vertebrae, and that is basically a connecting link between the tail, the presence of a tail, and the absence of a tail. So this is all about the invertebrates versus chordates. Now symmetry, body symmetry can be asymmetrical, it can be radially symmetrical, or it can be a bilaterally symmetrical organism. Asymmetry means no pattern is there. Radial symmetry means shaped like a wheel, and bilateral symmetry means has a right and left side. That means in humans, radial symmetry is present in starfish, hydra, jellyfish, and asymmetry is present in corals and sponges. Now germ layers are in 3 forms, that is ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. The organisms in which the mesoderm is absent or is a bit present, in some cases it is also known as the mesocele also. But ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm are the 3 important germ layers in terms of the developmental biology perspective. Ectoderm is the outer layer, endoderm is the inner layer, and the mesoderm is basically the middle layer. So from ectoderm you can easily figure out that the future organs which develop from the ectoderm are the skin, nervous tissue, and sense organs. From the endoderm, it is the digestive tract and digestive and the respiratory system also arises. From the mesoderm, it is basically the skeleton, the muscles, and the excretory system. Now body cavity is in the form of coelom. Now coelom is basically a fluid filled cavity in the mesoderm that is lined with the mesodermal tissue. You can see over here in the diagram that it is lined by the mesodermal tissue. Now pseudocoelom is basically partially filled with mesoderm, not completely but partially, and acoelomate. So there are three types of organisms that can be classified according to this, that is coelomate, pseudocoelomate and acoelomate. Acoelomate means they do not have any kind of body cavity. They lack a body cavity. Okay. So this is the basic difference between the three. So this is a very common chart that is present in class 11-12 NCERT, and we all know about this chart, those who have studied biology. That is the animal kingdom or the animalia is generally diversified into the cell at the cellular level in the form of the phylum Porifera, and at the tissue organ level in the form of two types of symmetry, that is the radial and the bilateral symmetry. Now radial symmetry is generally present in the Coelenterata, that is the Cnidaria and the Ctenophora. But bilateral symmetry is present in three forms, that is it can be in acoelomates, it can be in pseudocoelomates, it can be coelomates. Acoelomates examples is platyhelminthes, pseudocoelomates example is ascalmenthes, and coelomates is the major portion that comprises of almost the rest of all the phylum that are present in the animal kingdom, that is the Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. Now you have to remember that Echinodermata, though classified under bilateral symmetry, but they are larval forms, sometimes do exhibit the radial symmetry. So a question came from GATE few years back in GATE. I would be discussing with you that question. That Echinodermata shows what kind of symmetry. It should be radially and bilateral symmetry both. So that's what the question is, that radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry are shown by which of the following phylum at different stages of the life cycle. It is basically the phylum Echinodermata. You can see over here the options in the form of bivalve and crustacean. They are not phylum actually. This Annelida and Echinodermata are phylum, but bivalve belongs to Echinodermata, and crustaceans. Now this is a debatable question. People might be thinking that bivalvia is also a temporary option down here, but no, because they have asked about the phylum and not about the downgraded orders. Okay, so you have to click over here in the form of Echinodermata. Correct option is option A, Echinodermata. I have given the correct option. Few people told that you need the answers with the PPTs. You are not getting the answers when you were studying the PPT, so I have included the answers. Which of the following lack the symmetry? So symmetry is lacked in the asymmetric organism. Now asymmetric organisms is basically the poriferans. Okay, so porifera is one of the ones that is lacking a symmetry. Correct option, option A, porifera. So let's begin with our second session, that is the GATE Exozoology Crash Course Part A. So this is also presented to you by the Advent Biological Society, and so invertebrates comprises of Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Ascalmenthes, Annelida, Arthropoda and mollusks and Echinodermata. So these are basically the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 major, not 10 actually, 9 major phylum of the invertebrates. So let's just move on to one by one. So porifera are also known as the sponges because of the presence of the ostia and the osculum, that is pores are present inside the body of the sponges, and they circulate water throughout their body, and they show primitive type of circulation inside their body in the form of water channels that are known as ostia and osculum. Choanocytes line the spongiocele. Spongiocele is basically their body cavity, though they do not have a classical body cavity, but yes, spongiocele is present, that is acting as a cavity inside their body. And choanocytes, certain structures that line this spongiocele cavity is known as the choanocytes. Now they are aquatic and they are hermaphrodite. Cycon is an example of porifera. Cycon is a typical sponge that is also there, and is the example of the porifera. So Coelenterata or Cnidaria has two different life forms in them, that is the polyp and the medusa. It is not poly, it is actually polyp. There is a misprint down here, so please correct it over here. It's polyp and the medusa. So polyp and medusa are different stages of their organism. Single opening, that is present in the form of hypostome, that is the mouth is known as the hypostome, performs metagenesis. Presence of cnidoblast for anchorage. Cnidoblast, look over here, this is the cnidoblast cell, and cnidoblast is required for the anchorage, defense and prey and capture of prey. So cnidoblast is used for anchorage, defense and capture of prey. So examples can be in the form of Aurelia and Adamsia. So next is the Ctenophora. Members are known as the comb jellies. Comb plates help in the locomotion. Bioluminescence is a process that is shown by these ctenophorans. They are marine and hermaphrodite both. Now Pleurobrachia is an example, a classical example of the ctenophora, and they show bioluminescence and they are known as the comedones. The platyhelminthes are known as the flatworms. They have the presence of hooks and suckers. Excretory organs can be in the form of flame cells, and these flame cells also have a role in the process of osmoregulation. That means the maintenance of the osmotic balance in their body. They are also hermaphrodite, and the classical example is the liver flea. Now the next one is the Aschelminthes. Roundworm is a classical example of the Aschelminthes. Now well developed muscular pharynx, separate sexes. So sexes are separate. Now one of the examples of Aschelminthes is Asteria lumbricoides, and you all know that it causes asteriasis, and you have an idea of how the ascaris male and female worms look. Now Annelida example is Nevis, but Annelida has several segmented body parts, that is segmented body parts, that is in the form of metameres, and nephridia is the excretory organ, and it is also involved in osmoregulation. Please remember about the excretory organs, because question haven't been asked in GATE so far from the expression, but in the reference columns it can be given several organs may be given in the form of nephridia, flame cells, malpighian cells, and you might be asked at which of the following phylums or classes have this nephridia or flame cells or malpighian cells. Okay, so in this pattern question might come. So metameres are specialized segments that are features of each of the following phylums, and the correct option, as you all know, that metameres are present in the annelids. So the correct option is answer C, annelids. The next question is a special process that is exhibited by comb jellies is also known as. So is it biofilm formation? No. Phosphorescence? No. Biofluorescence? No. It is bioluminescence. Okay. So it came in GATE 2015, and it's one of the important questions you have to answer in the form of bioluminescence. The correct option is bioluminescence. Next question is about schwannocytes. Now schwannocytes are the special features of schwannocytes. Now you all know that schwannocytes are present in the lining of the spongiosal cavity of the poriferans. We have studied about that. So correct option would be the poriferan. So this is the correct option over here. So thank you for listening to the class. Let's wait and watch the next video in a while. Thank you. Bye bye. Hey all, welcome to another session by the Advent Biological Society on the GATE Excel Zoology Crash Course Part 10. Here is your educator Revanto Roy, and in this is the last portion of the GATE 2023 Crash Course on Zoology. Hope you have liked the videos so far. And now in this video we will be talking about the next phylum, that is the Arthropoda. Arthropoda is basically the largest phylum. Butterflies, insects, spiders, mosquitoes, whatever you see around yourself, most of the insects, most of the organisms around you is the arthropods. Body divided into three segments, that is the head, thorax and abdomen, have jointed appendages. So this is a very important thing which describes about the arthropoda, that is the jointed appendage. Malpighian tubules are used in excretion. Statocysts are known as the balancing organ. Respiratory organs are present in the form of gills, book gills and tracheal system. Please remember all these points by heart. These are the most important points down here. Now mollusca has a mouth in the form of radula, and mantle in the form is in the form of a protective outer covering that is present in the soft skin portion. Okay, head, muscular foot and visceral hump are also present. Octopus is one of the examples of mollusca. Mantle cavity is also present. Now Echinodermata is a very important phylum. It comprises of this starfish. Now starfish is one of the best examples of echinoderms. You know that starfish is found in the marine regions mostly. Water vascular system is present. Sexes are separate. Excretory system is absent down. Now the last phylum, which is debated, which was few years ago, it was debated to be chordates, but yes, now it's classified under the non-chordates in the form of hemichordata. It's a connecting link between chordates and non-chordates, and the classical example is Baranoglossus. If someone had zoology in their BSc days, he or she might have seen this in their lab in the form of we used to be given organisms for identification, and Baranoglossus was a classical organism which came during the examinations in the form of identification. So have a anterior proboscis collar and a trunk. Proboscis gland is involved in the process of excretion. Gills used in respiration, and sexes are separate again. So now we have completed with the invertebrates. Now this is the time for the vertebrates. Now vertebrates is itself a phylum. That means the chordate is itself a phylum, and it comprises of several classes in the form of fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, mammals. So fishes or fishes have scales made out of bony plates. Reproduction is external. Breathing is done by gills. Temperature is ectothermic, and they have features in the form of having a swim bladder. Amphibians have moist skin. They have reproduction in the form of external reproduction. Breathing is via lungs or via skin. Temperature is ectothermic, and the other features is larval stage in water, adult stage in land. That means they have a both dual lifestyle pattern that is present inside there. So next one is the reptile, that is scale made out of keratin, internal lays soft eggs, lungs with extensive folding, ectothermic, simple teeth with no living tissue. Bird or the aves, the class aves, comprise of feathers, internal fertilization, lungs with bronchial tubes, endothermic, wings have wings, and beaks have no teeth. Okay, beaks do not comprise of teeth, but they comprise of a beak. Mammals have hairs, and fertilization is internal except the monotremes, that is the platypus, and lungs with alveoli. Temperature is endothermic, and other features feed young with milk from the mammary gland. Presence of the mammary gland is an important feature of the Mammalia class. So this is basically a short overview of the chordate phylum and its classes. So next one is the connecting links. Now you know that Peripatus is an example of connecting link. It connects arthropods with annelid. Neopledida is a connecting link between annelids and mollusks. Protopterus is a connecting link between amphibians and fishes. Viruses is a connecting link between living and non-living. Euglena is a connecting link between plants and animals. Platypus is a connecting link between reptiles and mammals. So larval forms are very much important in terms of gait. Several questions have been asked over these larval forms. I haven't included any questions down here in the last slide, but yes, if you go back to the question papers of the last 10 or 11 years, you can find out that questions do have come from this larval form. Ragon larva belongs to Porifera. Planula belongs to Coelenterata. Rhabditiform larva, a very important larva, is larval stage in the Ascaris rhombicoides, is present in the Aschelmensis. Tocophore larva is present in both the annelids and the mollusks. Veliger larva is present in the mollusks. Glochidium larva is again present in the mollusks. Bipinnaria larva is present in the Echinodermata. Tornaria larva is present in Hemichordate. Ammocetes larva is present in Cyclostomata. Now Cyclostomata is included under the Pisces. Assyrian larva is included under Urochordata, and tadpole larva is included under the amphibian frog. So this is basically what about the larval stage. So thank you everyone for having patience and listening to all the classes so far. I hope that the course was understandable to you all. If you have any kind of queries, you are directed just to inform us in the comment section, and I hope you have liked all the videos. Do subscribe our channel and support us. Thank you and bye bye.